Coming up next, an update on the City of San Diego's safe sleeping sites. Is the ordinance working? We are working for you to get answers.
No more styrofoam in San Diego. I'm Shanna Handy. Coming up, I'll tell you about the ban that's now officially in effect.
Plus, people living in their cars in the City of San Diego are learning the new rules of the road after a federal class action lawsuit.
Spring Loaded, the new skateboard you can carve uphill. A game changer in sidewalk surfing.
And speaking of Jeff, we'll show you the surprise honor he received today. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
What's supposed to be part of the solution to the City of San Diego's homelessness crisis is turning into what some say is an eyesore near Balboa Park. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Kirsten Holmes in for Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Brian White is working for you to find out if the money spent on that tent city is making a difference in helping get people off the streets.
CBS 8 was there when the city set up these two safe sleeping sites, one at 20th and B Street and the other at the O Lot near the edge of Balboa Park by the Naval Medical Center.
This weekend, we will be ready to welcome unsheltered San Diegans here, getting them off the streets, connected to services, and on a path to permanent housing.
That was last year with the brand new tents you see here, and this is what the safe sleeping sites look like now. The tent's a bit faded from the sun as you might expect, and some have blue tarps draped over them. But there's a reason for that.
The reason that people are seeing tarps over the tents is the tents leak. Condensation gets in them.
Janice Wilds is an outreach specialist for the nonprofit Housing for the Homeless. She's been to the site and knows people who are staying there.
These tents faded quickly, and when that fading happens, the fabric deteriorates and you get more leakage. So people need some kind of shade over the tent.
I reached out to the nonprofit Dreams for Change, which the city contracts with to run these sites for more than $1.5 million per year. They deferred me to the city for any comment.
We've seen it reaching people who are hesitant to accept other shelters, like people who may say no to congregate shelter. They're saying yes to safe sleeping.
Matt Hoffman is a spokesperson for the city. He says between the two sites, 458 people are currently staying there. And since opening, they've connected 28 people to some form of long-term housing.
Getting people out of that crisis care cycle, so getting them to a place where they can relax a little bit, start to get connected to services, that's what these safe sleeping sites do.
So with these sites in enforcement of the unsafe camping ordinance, are we seeing a difference? According to a March 21st census by the San Diego Downtown Partnership, the tally of street homelessness downtown fell to 809 people, the lowest it's been in 3 years. While nearly 500 people are using these safe sleeping sites, Janice says more work needs to be done.
More people are falling into homelessness than are exiting homelessness. This is a housing access disaster that San Diego's in. We can't keep doing things the same way.
In downtown, working for you, Brian White, CBS 8.
Here at CBS 8, we want to help you solve problems that affect you. If there's something you need us to look into, just email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
CHP says a wrong-way driver caused an early morning crash that killed her and a 16-year-old boy. This happened just before 3:30 on Interstate 5 in Chula Vista. CHP says the 67-year-old woman was heading north in the southbound lanes when she hit the car driven by the teenager, causing them to burst into flames. Both drivers were trapped in their cars and died at the scene. An investigation is ongoing. No word yet if alcohol or drugs were a factor.
And tonight, the city of San Diego has new rules for when and how it can fine people for living in their cars. This after a settlement from a class action lawsuit.
Lawyers involved in the lawsuit held a meeting along Mission Bay today to explain the new rules, as well as the rights people living in their vehicles now have. CBS 8's Jesse Began is here breaking down the settlement's changes. Jesse.
Hey guys, a federal lawsuit that challenged the city of San Diego's vehicle habitation ordinance dates back to 2017. That's when it all started. The city and the 9 plaintiffs on the suit reached a settlement the court preliminary approved in March. As part of the settlement, the city's rules about where people can park overnight and for how long will change, along with the city's plans for helping people living in their cars.
Living on the street, sleeping on a sidewalk. You don't ever think that it'll happen to you, and It does.
Allison Prater says she lost her home about a year ago, finding herself in the shoes of thousands of others in San Diego. But a new set of rules changing the way the city of San Diego manages people living in their cars is giving her hope.
Really a milestone for especially people living in their vehicles, not only homeless people.
The city and 9 plaintiffs leading a class action lawsuit have reached a settlement surrounding the city's vehicle habitation and oversized vehicle ordinances. As part of the settlement, the city will no longer be able to criminalize living in a car without there being a suspicion of another crime first. The city also won't be able to cite people for parking along city streets or public parks if there are no spaces available in safe parking lots.
Class members are law-abiding citizens overwhelmingly. They're just trying to survive when they just can't afford the extraordinarily high rents of San Diego.
Ann Menashe is one of the attorneys leading the suit. She says the agreement also comes with other changes, like parking ticket forgiveness for people in certain circumstances.
It's a huge deal. People owe thousands and thousands of dollars. I talked to one class member who literally does owe thousands of dollars.
Ann says police are getting new training on the changes now, and although they won't officially take effect for some time, people like Allison say the new rules are still a relief.
Never judge because it could happen to you.
The settlement also mandates the city expand its safe parking program, especially by posting on its website where spaces are available every day, and says they're collecting people's information to submit to the city for that ticket forgiveness. Meantime, the court won't have a hearing to formally, officially, and finally approve the settlement until October, but Ann says the city is working under a good faith agreement to not enforce these parking rules and fines until the changes happen. Carlo?
Thanks, Jesse. The deadline to pay the second installment of property taxes in San Diego County passed just an hour ago. It was also the deadline for flood victims to apply for extensions or reductions in their property taxes. If you missed the deadline, there's now a 10% penalty plus an additional $10 fee. If you do not pay both installments by the end of June, your unpaid taxes go into default. We have all the ways you can pay on our website, CBS8.com.
And we have a very special honor for a guy tonight that we all know and love here at CBS 8, our very own Jeff Zeppeli.
Yeah, the city of Encinitas is presenting him with a proclamation honoring him for his years of service there, dating all the way back to his childhood. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live from City Hall in Encinitas with more on Jeff's big night. Steve.
And Carlo and Kirsten, Jeff and his family actually inside Encinitas City Hall right now receiving that proclamation. Now, I had a chance to read it, and I'll tell you, it says a lot of really nice things about Jeff. And judging what the folks here in Encinitas say about him, it's all true.
Even as a young child, it was obvious to those who knew him that Jeff was destined to ride a wave of success.
Jeff was pretty small and pretty scrawny.
Mark Embry was Jeff's basketball coach at San Diego Academy and says what Jeff lacked in size, he made up for with heart.
He was a kid of integrity, and Jeff showed it. During the year, we'd have early morning practices, and Jeff would be waiting for me at the gym over there, having ridden his bike from Leucadia with his sweatshirt on and all covered up, just so he could be there when I got there.
In the hills of Encinitas,
Jeff joined CBS 8 in 2002 and regularly tells stories from his childhood neighborhood, making Encinitas proud.
Master Castle from Encinitas Karate felt as if she was being attacked. This vessel was in service in the 1950s and rescued people from Moonlight Beach south to Fletcher Cove.
Unfortunately, many of Jeff's favorite lunch and dinner spots here in Encinitas are now long gone, like Sub Palace and Karina's Taco Shop. But La Especial Norte is still here, and for years they had a picture of Jeff on the wall. They recently remodeled and took it down, but don't worry, we got a copy of it.
Yep, that's Jeff there in the yellow goalie jersey, and we found high school pictures too, when he was a regular at VG's Donuts, ordering a maple bar with a smile, providing sweet memories.
Somebody that's a local guy that has supported the whole city for so many years and then continues to support the city and then just be part of everything that goes on is really, really cool.
Jeff regularly surfed at Moonlight Beach, played volleyball there too. In fact, he was an awesome volleyball player in high school. And today, he spikes the competition with his reporting skills.
All right, let's do this Jeff style. What happens when you get a talented San Diego journalist, you bring him home and let him find stories that show the best in people? Well, you have the Zevely Zone, and we're lucky to live in it.
You uplift all of us with your compassion, your care, and the clever way you write. You are always giving back to your community and your hometown, and no one deserves this honor more than you, my talented friend. Congrats.
In the Zevely Zone. I can't believe we're standing in Encinitas right now. Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
I'll tell you what, for more than a dozen years, Jeff's desk was right next to mine, and every time I was struggling with the words, the right words for a story, I would turn to Jeff and he would just have them. The guy is so creative. We are so lucky to have him. What you see is what you get with Jeff. And like I've said, we're lucky to have him here at Channel 8. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, and Steve, you've worked next to him pretty much longer than anybody in the newsroom, just about anyway. In all that time, has he gotten a big head? I mean, come on now, all this praise.
No.
It's got to be like walking a little high-nosed around us now, right?
Never.
We're keeping today positive. We're keeping it all about Jeff. But I will tell you this, okay? So, Carla, you and I are both from Southern California. We moved to San Diego because we always knew how awesome it was, but we wanted to be here. Imagine being Jeff. You're born and raised here, and you get to work here. I mean, the guy is living a charmed life, but he deserves it.
He absolutely does. One of the warmest welcomes I got when I first got here. Thank you for that, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Just a really talented storyteller, and just love having that segment to lift us up a little bit. We need it after a lot of these newscasts.
Yes, we do.
Still ahead tonight, a styrofoam ban is now in full effect for the city of San Diego.
Plus, the unlikely friendship between a former mayor and a non-binary barber right here in Southern California, and their new book together.
We continue to bask in the sunshine all the way through tomorrow. Also talking about those warm temperatures, but we do have to gear up for a storm system this weekend. All those details are coming up.
And up next, viral claims that millions of people registered to vote without any ID we verify.